Hey viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to So You're Being Hunted, episode 661, I think. Is that where we're up to, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. 660 something, basically, is where we're actually up to. We're actually on a new map. I just decided I couldn't be arsed playing the ones that I was on before, so I'm starting a new one, even though this is just a podcast-style episode, ladies and gentlemen. Because basically I had sort of two maps on the go, one that I was playing before and then one suddenly that I just made when Phil joined me for a bit, and as a result I had two map files and then forgot which one I was technically playing on and all that, but that's fine, because it doesn't really matter. We're just having a nice conversational episode, ladies and gentlemen, with me twittering on about whatever I decide to twitter on about, and all that kind of thing. So it's a Tuesday evening, as when I record this. It's been quite a busy day, work-wise. I'm not going to bother you with the details of that. Needless to say, it's been a productive day, though. I feel like I've, done quite a bit of stuff, hammered out a fair bit of work. Still a fair bit to get through, but that's fine. But no, I just figured, I wanted to come and do some recording and all that. And I'm thinking I might try and record a couple of episodes this evening. Because the thing is, I got, in terms of my schedule on the channel, the upload schedule, I've got quite a bit of pre-recorded content actually ready to go, which is really, really good. At least content for something like the next 11 days or something, as I'm going to record this, that is. So yeah, I'm in quite a sort of good position then in that regard, which is always a sort of pleasure to be in, because it means I can just sort of focus a bit more on things like bonus content as well, recording the odd thing like that. But that's not the main thing I wanted to talk about. What I really wanted to talk about was just gaming in general, because you know me, every so often when I'm on Steam and I see there's a sale on, something like that, I think to myself, oh, I'll just see if I can pick up a few games, for cheap or whatever, see what's going on offer. So I've been picking up a few things recently, ladies and gentlemen, noticed stuff that was going for real low prices, and just picked it up. Do you remember quite a while back I did an episode where I talked about Cube World? Do you remember that episode, ladies and gentlemen? Basically, I remember I did an episode where I talked about the whole shebang that was going on around Cube World. If you don't know what Cube World is, it's this really colourful looking sort of voxel, pixely kind of RPG adventure sort of game where you have your little character and you just go around a world fighting enemies, levelling up. And the thing is, it's obviously an older game in that originally it was in alpha, kind of like a closed alpha, back in 2013 or whenever it was. And, back in that day, it looked really, really good. And those who got to play it were always saying, oh, it's really, really fun, it's really, really enjoyable. And without kind of going too much into detail, because otherwise, I'm just rehashing essentially what I talked about in a previous episode, but eventually there came a point where for some reason the alpha of Cube World just vanished entirely. You could no longer get access to it. And then suddenly, in the last couple of years, it reappeared on Steam. But looking at the reviews of it have been very mixed, with quite a few negative ones, because apparently the creator had made some curious changes to the gameplay. For example, one of the big ones, I believe, was that the game world being divided into regions had this weird thing where the level on your gear or whatever was like region locked, where as soon as you proceed into another region within the game, you'd have to sort of start from scratch again, which is a really weird choice. But putting that aside, basically, so I noticed Cube World was going on offer recently, as I'm going to record this, and I was sort of internally debating, should I buy it? Because part of me genuinely is kind of curious. Because you know what I'm like. Sometimes I look at the reviews people leave on Steam to try and get a feel for whether something is good or bad, whether it's worth buying or not. But as a general rule, sometimes I'm also one of those kind of people who I like to kind of test things for myself sometimes. And Cube World was one of those kind of things where I was looking at it and I was thinking, I actually kind of want to try it for myself. I know I'm probably going to regret it if it turns out that the gameplay changes that the dev made turn out to be really stupid and nonsensical. But having said that, I can't deny that from an aesthetic viewpoint, that game does look gorgeous. And I kind of do want to just have a look at it. on that basis. So in the end I went and bought it, ladies and gents. I got it on Steam. And it may well be something that I do a bonus series on at some point in the near future. Well, I say in the near future, knowing me it'll probably take me a more while to get to it. But if I was to play it here on the channel, I don't think I'd do a massive series on it. At least not right now, I don't think I would. I probably would just sort of do the odd occasional bonus episode, and I probably wouldn't do a very big series. I'd probably just sort of have maybe a few episodes of it, just to get a sense of what it's like now, and, you know, give myself more a sense of whether I'd want to actually pursue it further, do even more of it, or not. But you never know. There might be. It may be something that appears on the channel at some point. You never know, folks. Sure, I'll take the revolver ammo. Why not? Might find a revolver at some point. But no, apart from Cube World, I also picked up some other games on Steam. Again, that were going on offer. 3 games in a single franchise. Who remembers the Aquanox franchise, ladies and gentlemen? If you don't know what Aquanox is a franchise which actually started in the late 90s, back when I was a lot younger. And I can remember having a copy, I think, of PC Gamer magazine back in the day, sort of about 2002, 2003-ish, when I think Aquanox 2 Revelation was about to be released. I can remember seeing this big double-page spread or whatever it was in that magazine on it. Unfortunately, I can't really remember what they said about it at the time, because I don't think I really read that article, but if you don't know what the Aquanox games are, they're basically sort of like a sci-fi post-apocalyptic game where humanity has had to retreat to the bottom of the sea. And so the idea is you basically have a submarine, you kind of kit it out with weapons and upgrades, and you go sailing out into the abyss, fighting enemies, things like that. And it does look kind of cool. It's not a submarine sim, ladies and gents. That's not what it is, from everything I've read. Because a submarine sim sort of implies, you know, really in-depth sailing mechanics and that kind of thing. That's not what this is. It's an action game, ultimately. But no, it was one of those things which I sort of looked at online, and I noticed you could get essentially all 3 of the Aquanox games on Steam. The original Aquanox 1 and Aquanox 2, and then the Aquanox Deep Descent game that was released in the last couple of years, which I don't know if that's like a reboot of the franchise or a continuation, I'm not sure. Interestingly, I remember actually Deep Descent had a few mixed reviews, because if you remember correctly, back when I was still doing my Steam reviews, monthly videos, Aquanox Deep Descent was one of the games featured in one of those. And yes, I just remember when I was preparing that particular Steam reviews video, and I was gathering all of the reviews for Aquanox Deep Descent, there were quite a few negative ones as well as positive ones. So, mixed reviews, but I'm willing to give it a shot, see how it is and all that. So yeah, Aquanox games, ladies and gentlemen, because you know me, I do enjoy sometimes doing older games and all that on the channel. Things that I can sort of vaguely remember from when I was a kid. Particularly anything from the year 2003-ish, around about there. I've talked before about how, you know, 2003 was sort of my kind of golden year in gaming from my youth. Just a year that I remember very well in terms of a lot of games that I enjoyed, or that I remember quite well being from around about that time. So yes, that's the video game news, ladies and gentlemen, in this episode. So, Cube World and Aquanox. I've been buying them. So as usual, you know, if there's anything in there that sounds like it'd be interesting to you, if you think, ooh, that sounds like it'd be interesting to actually see you play that on the channel, Red, then, you know, by all means do leave a comment and all that. Because I'm always interested in, you know, sometimes playing things that people suggest to me, or people that sit there and go, oh yeah, I'd totally be up for seeing you play that or whatever. Some of the best games I've played have been suggested by other people. Then again, some of the most underwhelming games that have ever been suggested to me have come through my viewers, but never mind. You win some, you lose some. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I bought apart from Cube World and the Aquanox games? I don't think so, but Ah, there may well be. You never know. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Throw that over there. There we go. Getting further away, behind this ridge. Oh, there you go. Oh, get out of here! So I can just take your device piece with me. Only one more on this island. Very good. What do you guys over there think of Aquanox Deep Descent or Q World, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows? No, I'm just really racking my brains trying to think, was there anything else? Anything else that I bought recently on Steam? Probably not. But having said that, actually, come to think of it, in terms of other games that I do need to play on the channel, I want to get back to Danganronpa fan games at some point, because I was basically going through, actually, itch.io and GameJolt recently, looking for Danganronpa fan games, and holy shit, there's a lot of ones that I had not heard of, which actually do look semi-decent. So I need to get through some of those. I mean, a lot of them aren't complete, a lot of them, there's only like partial numbers of chapters and all that, but that's never stopped me from playing them before. In the meantime, I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for Danganronpa Antebellum, the next instalment of that, because there was that April Fool's earlier this year, Antebellum Pink, which I played. At first I thought it was actually Chapter 3 Deadly Life, because on the day I downloaded it, April 1st, it said Chapter 3 Deadly Life. Then it turned out it was an April Fool's, and I should have seen that coming, but never mind. It was still enjoyable for what it was. A comical little excursion into the realms of absurdity. So Danganronpa fan games, yes, I've got a whole list of them, basically, on Microsoft Word. And there's a lot of ones currently that are in the works that don't have demos or prologues or anything released yet, which I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on to see if there's any update on them. Because the thing is, I imagine a lot of Danganronpa fan games probably reach a point where they get cancelled, because, I don't know, I feel like a lot of them are probably made by sort of lone indie devs, things like college students, in their free time. But then, you know, people's high school or college courses finish, and suddenly they end up in the world of work and they have no time anymore for, you know, developing their little games. So as a result, things get discontinued and whatever else have you, which is sad and unfortunate, but such is the way of life sometimes. Lord knows I have tons of, you know, personal projects and things, not game development, but just other stuff, you know, I would love to do, but which sometimes, you know, IRL commitments often get in the way of doing. But sometimes you just got to sit down and try and make time for yourself and all that. But yeah, at least I say, lots of Danganronpa fan games I could potentially be playing. So that might be something I try and get back to. Because at the moment I've just been doing Danganronpa S from time to time, on occasion, as a bonus series, slowly but surely working my way through that. And you know, that's going to keep going, actually, for the time being, because there's a ton of stuff to discover in that game just yet. So I can envisage that freaking turning into a bloody 50-part bonus series or something. Signal from Tolva, of course, that's another bonus series which is still ongoing at the moment. As I'm going to record this, I've completed the main campaign, but I have the Polar Regions campaign to do, so I'm going to be taking a look at that as well at some point, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. You know, and I think that's probably good enough for this episode. Kind of talked about what I wanted to talk about for this one. I think I'm going to get recording the next episode straight away, though, because I've got another topic of conversation that I found very fascinating. I was reading about it quite early this morning, just before work. I figured, oh, that'd be a great topic for a podcast-style conversation, that would. So, join me for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just pause the game so those robots don't friggin' come right across me. Facebook and Twitter links are down below, along with a link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested, and if you enjoyed, a like is of course always appreciated. But other than that, join me next time, and I'll sign off now. Goodbye all! Okay, I think that fucked up my gas mask well, right, so you can't even go in the water. Okay. Shit. Now, where the hell are you meant to go? This way, maybe? Because this looks different over here. Oh god. Shiver me timbers. Right, you're coming for me. That's not good. Crap. Balls to you. Are you freaking armoured? I think you are. Oh, fuck me, I need to swap the filter again. Christ. Right, if I hide, maybe he'll beg off. Perhaps. Okay, yeah, he will. So actually, you don't need to fight these guys. They'll just go away of their own accord. Right, just up here. Oh, it's a better gas mask, thank God. God, a slightly better one. What the heck? God, how much friggin' time do I have left for my filters? I don't know.